Hey everybody, welcome to All Points North Lodge. Super excited to see you, super excited to have you here. My name's Anna and I am the brand content writer with All Points North Lodge. And today's Team Tuesday, so we're going to bring on Craig Somerville and let's see if we can get him on here. Okay, we're bringing in Craig. Awesome. Hey Craig.
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. What's going on with you?
Just another day, killing it in the contact center game, but from
Okay.
home.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give a little intro here. This is Craig Somerville. He is the managing director of the contact center. So, Craig, tell us a little bit about what your background is, how you got into treatment. Let's start there.
Sure, sure. So, right out of high school, based on some sports injuries, I found myself liking a little bit too much to the prescription pain medications. In Primarily in South Florida was where I did most of my schooling, and a decision was made between myself and my parents to seek outpatient therapy or treatment. So I went to a program, spent about 30 days on an outpatient level of care basis, and ended up not only getting sober and, realizing that it was an issue, but also meeting some connections in the industry, really understanding and learning how being a part of this industry is not only rewarding mentally, but also, can be financially as well. And I started working in the industry after about a year sober after that. And right out of college, I went to work for a large treatment company and was in the admissions team, started at the bottom, worked my way down from the overnight shift to the day shift, and was able to help a lot of people make the decision to change their lives.
Wow, that's awesome. I know that you did our little Team Tuesday slide, and I know that you had talked about there was one particular guy that you kind of clicked with and looked up to. Can you talk about that inspiration a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was referencing one of my old bosses. So, I made it a point to try and learn from every boss that I've had in this industry, kind of utilize their skills and ask certain questions that would help me gain knowledge a little bit more in the industry and create a path for me up to leadership. I always went into a company in this business asking how I could get my boss's position at some point. And, I'm still doing that today.
Cool. That's awesome. So talk a little bit about you're new to California, right? So how did you get from where you were cross country? What all happened to get you to All Points North Lodge?
Sure, sure. So I was doing some consulting. I have my own marketing and consulting company. I've been doing it for about 6 years in this space particularly. But my information crossed paths with the owner of this company, and we decided to work together on another project out east in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and helping those who are in the Medicare, Medicaid criteria looking for help outpatient. And he saw the work that I did quickly and robustly. We built out a contact center in a matter of days for that program and got some marketing efforts off the ground and started, vetting admissions for those programs right away. And he saw how quickly and adaptable I was, being that I've been in the space for about 12 years now. So we talked further about helping him with All Points North Lodge, and he basically explained the vision to me of what All Points North was going to be. And I really like the fact that, it's treating the whole person, not just addiction specifically, more mental health, trauma geared. And I thought that was a need in the space at the time. And we discussed it further. He's very convincing. And he said, why don't you come out to California where our corporate office is and help me launch this thing? And, we ended up making an agreement, and I came out west here, and I had visited before, working for other companies, and know of the space out here in California. But living out here and working out here, it's a really nice environment. Of course, the weather's great. It's a little expensive, but everything is worked out well.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you think, you said you're super adaptable. You've built, this is the second contact center that you built from the ground up pretty quickly, right? So, when you're building out a contact center, what makes it great and useful for people that are calling instead of just like some, kind of annoying answering service or something. Like, what are you
Right.
looking for?
So, as far as what I look for in an employee, let's say we'll start there. I want someone who's goal driven and oriented just like I am. I want somebody that's going to say, how do I get your job? How do I get to the level that you're at? And I truly like to hire people that remain teachable because I want to teach them and educate them on everything that I know so that if there's a higher position for me, if there's a potential ownership opportunity for me, that I can move out of my role and grant that to somebody I've trained. So I'm always looking for individuals who are willing to learn, no matter the age, no matter the background. I look at resumes just for a guide, but mostly I want to meet them. I want to hear from them. I want to see where they're at, what their goals are, and that's kind of how I hire for the positions in the contact center. Now, as far as this one particularly in the space that we are in, it's a little bit tougher to find vetted people with experience that I would say, meet the criteria that I look for. But, with sales background, with other types of backgrounds and business specifically, we like taking people who are green. We can mold them, we can train them to what we want them to be. And it's always fun to watch people grow. I get a high off of watching people grow and learn and kind of birthing them into this space and making it so that they can learn this experience and take the goals and take the actual routine that we apply into our everyday work with them to the next business or the next venture that they're in. And there's always something that you'll be able to take with you if you pay attention and learn some of the things that we use, but also from some of the clinical team as well. We incorporate staff to come do presentations in our contact center so we can not only know and learn our specific job at role and duties, but also learn from those that are in the different areas of the facility itself and of the business itself. So
Yeah, I mean, that's so good, especially because the contact center people are on the phone with people who are calling to find out what treatment's about. So that
yeah.
adaptability and the knowledge of clinical services and all that stuff is so important.
Yeah, and the difference, touching on that last question again, too, the difference is it's live people on the phones. We're not just an answering service. And what makes us unique is we do answer pretty much 24/7, and we try and get back to you if we don't within a few minutes. We have systems set up to streamline our processes, so we make this as least amount of stress as possible to set up an admission. It really helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so when you're setting up an admission, someone's calling in, they're interested in treatment, like what can they expect when they call in to talk to one of you guys?
Sure. So right off the bat, we're gonna make you feel comfortable. We're gonna build some rapport with you, maybe speak from relativity, right? I always go to my story and what helped me, and making the call is probably the hardest step, and it's only uphill from there, and it gets easier, and you know, letting them understand that they don't have to feel this way again really hits home. It helps, when we're speaking to a family member, letting them know that we have support for them as well. That's really the game changer about All Points North is we start family work as soon as the client admits, where other facilities start it, 15 days in or near the end of their programming. We start it right away. It helps us build that platform and that foundation. And think about it as a painting. We have a canvas, a blank canvas, and we want the family to help us start the structure, the infrastructure of that canvas so we can paint the picture and show what needs to be done with that each individual client to build them a sturdy foundation and continue wellness long term. So it really helps, and that's one of the key differentiators about us.
Yeah, that's so good. And I think it has to be so comforting as a family member of someone who's struggling to be able to call in and be like, oh, they can help me too,
Mhm.
in addition to helping me get my family member into treatment. Um,
Absolutely.
okay, so on a personal level, you have a new baby, you're a new dad.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Thank you.
and pretty soon after the new baby, you began working from home. So tell us about what the transition into fatherhood is like, and how it is working from home with the baby.
Yes, sure, sure. Fatherhood is a blessing. I have a daughter. Her name is Sage, and she is about 4.5 months old, growing very, very quickly. The transition from working in the office to home, it was pretty smooth with me because after hours, I'm primarily the ones answering the phones, answering the chats and emails online. So I would say I probably work more now that I'm working from home because, not as many distractions. And I'm able to focus more on, the clients and getting everything buttoned up for admissions coming in. It helps me to focus with my girlfriend here helping with the baby as well, and I'm a lot more hands-on with you know her growing up as well, which is a blessing. So it's been an easy transition. I would say my girlfriend would probably agree. I work more now that I'm working from home than I did when I was in the office. So
Totally,
not
totally.
not too bad.
Well, that's awesome, and we're excited to see your little Sage grow up too. She's so cute.
Yes,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, and no, it's awesome what you do, and the contact center is great. It's I feel so welcomed when I just like come in and grab a cup of coffee from the contact center or warm my food up or whatever, and it's a great team. So thank you
Yes,
for all that you do. Thanks for coming on Instagram Live today. You did great. Proud of you.
thank
I
you,
was
thank
hoping
you.
there would be a baby appearance, but it's okay.
She's eating right now, and
Okay,
she's
that's allowed,
making.
I guess.
Yes, yes.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Craig. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on our Instagram Live.
Thank you, Anna.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.